Greetings, good storytellers. I'm the Artful Narrator, and this is an update, kind of channel direction, video / stream of consciousness, or train of thought, as I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do with the channel. I, find myself still in the position where things are not improving. Beard's mess. Things are not improving to the degree where, as much as I want to, I can get back to doing the old style of videos with significantly more editing and significantly more scripting. And that definitely hurts my heart because I still have that, desire to make the videos as perfect as possible. But it just isn't. It isn't an option at the moment. But I don't want to make less videos. I want to, make more videos. And so the option there is to make videos that are more, vlog style, just stream of consciousness, still discussing the same subjects, but doing so with less polish and with less edits. And the one thing that I definitely notice in videos when I do it in that manner is that I don't have my facts as spot on, and I certainly have issues with the duration of the video where things aren't as concise. It is just a little bit longer, sometimes significantly longer. And this is just difficult for me because it's at odds with the type of content that I'm used to seeing, and so the standards that I've put upon myself with my video making. Because I never really was someone who, watched vlog-style videos online, aside from Boogie's rambling series, which I do quite enjoy. But no, I was more into seeing the either review videos about movies and TV shows, oftentimes the more comedic style where they're reviewing bad movies, or comic books like Linkara's Atop the Fourth Wall, or the Spoony one, things like that. Or of course now we have Cinema Sins and such things. But then I would also watch more essay style videos. Then the first of these type of videos that I got into was the Discovery videos by, that's been so long, what was it, just Idea Channel. I didn't have to finish looking up, I stopped myself. Idea Channel, I almost said Discovery Channel, but no, Idea Channel, watching that. And then from that I ended up seeing, got into game theory and then film theory, and Wisecrack is now especially good with some of their more philosophical takes on things. But the thing that all these videos have in common is that all of them are a very highly, edited, scripted style where getting the facts correct is very important. And I notice now anytime that I watch other videos in a similar style but from different content creators, sometimes with better quality but sometimes with lesser quality, I notice if someone says something that I know isn't correct as far as that franchise goes. And it isn't an irritation to me to the extent that I'm going to leave a comment about it and go, hey, what sort of hack are you? You didn't you do your research? But still, it's something that I notice. And the other thing that I notice too is times where the hosts, I'm fine with characters. I'm fine with the narrators of these videos going off on a tangent or something like that and coming back around to the point that they were trying to make from a different angle. But I sometimes notice that they will rephrase something back to back in a very similar way. And in my head, I just think, oh, well, why couldn't you edit that either in the script or in the recording so that you didn't have that double statement with only subtle variants? But I think that, some of this is just the difference mentally for me between a vlog style video where someone is just talking, they're taking you on the stream of consciousness with them, bringing you into their headspace as they remember all these wonderful different things from either a movie that they've just seen or from favorite shows from their childhood. And that when I'm in that headspace, I don't notice these, incorrect facts as a as something bad, because there it is the same thing as when you're talking to a friend. You don't expect them to have all their, list of exactly, who this character is in relation to that, and what episode this character appeared on, and what actor played this person, and all these different things. You don't expect them to have all that down. You're just listening to the point that they're driving at, and you're able to connect the dots yourself. And so what I'm trying to figure out is where my videos fall in this spectrum, because I created them to be why can I not talk right now? That essay style of content, and where it has that extra quality, not ultimate perfect quality, but gets the facts right and is as concise as possible, because I do enjoy when it comes to those more scholarly videos to have a bit of brevity. Make the points, make them strongly, and then leave you to think on this and perhaps do other research, have multiple videos on specific topics rather than huge, longer videos that cover multiple things, because sometimes you aren't always interested in all the subjects that are being discussed. Or maybe you are, but having that ability to choose for yourself what segments are desirable to you is a wonderful tool. Whereas, on the other hand, content that is based more around that entertainment side of thing, where it's the personality of the individual, in those instances, it's a treat to see these long videos and to see a review for a movie where the review itself is longer than the movie, and you think to yourself, wow, this guy had a bunch to speak about this, that he's going to go off on huge tangents. No, this will be wonderful, because you enjoy that content creator, and you have that confidence that it is going to be the same thing as having a nice sit down with a friend and listening to them ramble on, and as opposed to having it be some sort of dry scholarly thesis. And so again, just this is what I'm trying to figure out, because I find myself now, my videos are more vlog style, but I'm trying to hold myself to those standards that I learned from these more scripted style of videos. And so just recently, I have 2 trope videos that I'd say are between 50 to 70% done, and that I hope to put up, in the next week or 2, probably one in a week, and then one a week after it, maybe sooner if I'm lucky. But I keep going back and listening to it and thinking to myself, I wasn't, that concise there. I'm sure I could have phrased this quicker. This is a 15-minute video. I'm sure I could do it shorter, or so that just because I know that everyone's time is very important, and I don't want to waste yours. And I also see, I didn't speak quite right there. That's an incorrect fact there. Iron Man didn't, consciously remove his helmet and throw it away at the end of Iron Man 1. He took it off at one point, but then as soon as the Ironmonger came back, he put it back on. It was actually the Ironmonger that then grabs his helm and takes it off him, / Tony removes the helm to get out of the Ironmonger's grip. But, the videos on helmets are hardly heroic, but is that level of accuracy, does that completely invalidate, or is that level of inaccuracy such a problem that it completely invalidates the point of the video, the point of that video itself being just, hey, isn't it funny how often heroes in movies and TV shows will not have some face covering at key moments because you want to see the actor emote. Spoilers, that's the focus of the video. But it's my favorite trope, and I want to do it justice, but am I doing it justice just by making it fun, by making this video, and by being kind to myself and just sharing this joy with you, rather than being hard on myself and trying to pre-nitpick myself so that there won't be any things that will, bother you with the negative quality of it. And I know that all of this is very self-imposed because I haven't had people tear apart my videos and say, oh, actually, this character, first appeared such and such, and this, that, or the other thing. And I definitely appreciate that, but I understand the importance of wanting to have things be accurate. But still, it's just that, what type of video am I making? What is this channel about? And what should I expect from myself? And how should I present the video so that you know what to expect from it? Because a good way to phrase it would be like almost win conditions. That's not quite the right terminology, but I noticed this in yes, I noticed this especially in History Channel TV shows, where, being a huge history buff as I am, I love to learn about these different, either little-known aspects to famous historical events or completely unfamiliar episodes in history that shine entirely new light on aspects of the world as I know it. But even though I go into these TV shows looking for that, the shows will oftentimes try to frame themselves in a way where they are answering conclusively, a long unanswered question. And more often than not, they're physically unable to do this. Sometimes if it's a special, yes, they've uncovered some new information, and this, if not a concrete answer, seems very plausible. But a lot of the times, they're just walking you through the information like a regular history program would, but with this added, subtext of we're trying to, put all the pieces together and come up with new answers. Which I guess they take that thematic styles from, blockbuster movies and things, like National Treasure or Da Vinci Code, things like that. Things that, because it's a fictional story, it can draw new conclusions and come up with its own answers for things that, in the case of National Treasure, it's created. These different invented parts of history, conjured from real parts of history. But still, I enjoy I like the videos, in other words, and this is a tangent, I understand that, but that's the whole point of this video, is about tangents. But that I respect the shows much more where they frame it in the context of we are exploring these facets of history, and, maybe they are trying to glean new information from it, but they don't definitively state and set themselves up for failure by saying, we are going to come up with the answers. Like the, was it Brad Meltzer's Decoded? I think that was an interesting show, but it had the instant crutch of having a format where it says decoded, these are supposed to be these mysteries basically solved, and they would always end the show with all the people sitting around a table trying desperately to convince each other that yes, they had solved this this mystery of history, when of course they hadn't remotely. And yet every other aspect of the show was good. It was just that they set the win condition to be, we're going to answer this thing for you, and so it made it significantly less enjoyable. Whereas I love the newer seasons of Oak Island because they no longer have the win condition as, we are going to find the treasure at the bottom of the money pit. That the win condition is just, we are searching for this, we are digging up new information, this is the brotherhood of the dig, enjoy, revel in their stories, and watch as they uncover new information. And so you don't get to the end of a season and go, well, what the heck? They didn't find the thing that people have been searching for 200 years. I'm not watching this again. This is bunk. No, you go, wow, that was cool. They found a lot of interesting things. I can't, it looks like they're upping the stakes for next season. They're, spending more money, bringing in new advanced technology to get to the bottom of this. I can't wait to see what they uncover. And it's that changing of what you're trying to present, changing what constitutes a success for your product, that is a very important thing. And so I want to have an eye to how I present these videos to you and what goals and win conditions I set for myself, so that I can be more comfortable in looking at a video and going, yes, no video I make will ever be perfect, and no video I make has ever been perfect. But if it can fall within those parameters, then I can at least go, this is worth your time to witness. It is something that I can feel comfortable putting up on the channel because I can be relatively sure that people who click on this will find something there that either is, as I always say, informative or a pleasant diversion. Either you found food for thought in this video, or it entertained you for a few minutes and took your mind off whatever other problems were assailing you that day. And so that's just what I'm trying to assess here, to change the goalposts for what constitutes a good video for me, and alter the way that I produce them slightly so that I can find new ways to add quality to the video and to make it more polished without forcing myself into the extensive scripting or extensive intricate editing that just is a little beyond me at the moment. And so one tangible step that I have made forward, even though it still needs tweaking, that you can see in this video, is I got a little bit of money for my birthday, and so I bit the bullet and upgraded to a nicer camera so that I can have a 1080p setup. I can record these videos in higher quality, and they can hopefully look a little bit better on YouTube. And so it's my hope that this way I can, while I don't always have the nice video clips popping up at the opportune moments, I can at least be coming to you in an image that's slightly sharper. I still don't have the color correction quite right, and the focus still, the autofocus occasionally, I feel is a little bit too sensitive, so I'm seeing what things I can tweak and make sure that this camera arrived in good condition, because Amazon shipped it with a little bit of a kind of bubble mailer, so I'm not sure if it arrived intact, but we'll see. But so the thing, I'm looking for ways to make these videos better, because I want desperately to get to the point where I can maybe make a video a week, just because I feel like there would be something liberating in both with my problems with feeling that I haven't accomplished enough. If I had that, I got the video done for this week, it's like there could be that feeling of I've done something worthwhile. And also by having the videos have a smaller timeline where wherein they're developed, I could maybe feel a little bit more comfortable with the finished product, because I can look at that and go, for a week's amount of work, that's a pretty good video. Whereas other times when things snowball and when I have other problems at home and stuff like that, and I aren't, and I'm not able to get the video done, for like a month or sometimes 2 months, or a couple times it's been 3 months, I look at it and I go, this isn't a 3-month good video. This video doesn't show 3 months worth of work, because obviously, spoiler alert, I wasn't working on it for 3 months. I was still only working on it for probably 2 weeks of accumulated time stretched out over all that period of time. It's just that there are other things vying for my attention. But if I did have that more consistent uploads and shorter production time, I would be able to look at this and go, yeah, it's pretty good. And I would also have that nice feeling of, gee, I hope that this video, because I know that some videos I make are very niche, and I'm not trying to make videos that will appeal to everyone, because I already know that's something that you can't do. But still, there are some videos that I wanted to make that I literally know, like one video I've wanted to make for forever is the melon conundrum, and I desperately, always wrestling with the idea of maybe I should call it something else, because there are only two types of people who would click on that video: the people who are, somehow fans of this channel, well, to the extent where they would look at that and go, I have no idea what the Artful Narrator is talking about, but I'm gonna take a look at it and see, because I'm curious. And God bless you if you're one of those. Or people who are, I guess, are melon farmers, and they look at that and go, oh no, is this something I need to be worried about? I guess I'd better watch the video. So there are videos like that where no one but me very likely will understand what the title is referring to, and obviously I explained it in the video, but still it isn't, there's zero chance people are searching that out on the internet. And that if I was making videos more frequently, I could be like, okay, this week it's a weird week. We're putting out that video. Don't worry, next week it'll be something that you've actually heard referenced in pop culture, and you've seen a TV Tropes article on it. This is a for realsies trope. So that would be another benefit of being able to make the videos a little bit more frequently. I wouldn't have this feeling of, wow, you got to wait another month until a video, so I hope you're happy with the melon conundrum. Spoiler alert, that has nothing to do with anything sexual, just that that it's a narrative thing, because I know that that's something else that you could take from it. It's not that. So that's what I'm trying to convince myself that it could be okay to make these videos more vlog style, to just be all right with the fact that sometimes it's going to be longer, sometimes it's not going to be worded well, and sometimes the facts are going to be either not as polished, not accurate, or the structure isn't going to be the best, because I feel like the best trope videos that I make are ones where I'm able to select examples that highlight different facets of the trope, because I'm not able to do the wonderful thing that TV Tropes can do, wherein they can have all their folders that go down and open up to show you examples in all these different TV shows, because for me, that helps me by allowing me to find shows that I've witnessed, and I can then look at that and go, oh, so that's what they mean. I did see that episode. I gotcha now. Okay. Because sometimes reading the description of the trope isn't the same as fully understanding how it functions in a narrative. And so by being able to see all these examples of videos, of movies and TV shows and books where it's been used, you can find ones that are things you already experienced, and that can give you that extra level of understanding. Or you can use it as a kind of recommendations list, which was how I found the Terry Pratchett novels, because I kept seeing references to his work, and I thought, wow, this guy sounds pretty genre savvy. He's using all these tropes in clever ways. I want to read his books. But my videos can't do that. They're not nearly long enough. So what I don't want is to have 3 examples or 4 examples or 2 examples or whatever that just go, here's what the trope looks like when these people did it. Because I feel like you're intelligent enough to understand that much from just what I've told you of the trope. What I like to do is show you different facets of how the trope can be utilized that are distinct enough that it highlights areas that you could then use yourself, in the hopes that one of these is closer to perhaps a facet of your story, where either you'd been trying to do something similar, or where you can see that this idea is very applicable, and you can just take that, wrap it in the themes and textures of your story and slot it in to your narrative, and have that fill in part of the puzzle and help you over a difficult situation. And so that at their best, that's what the videos do. But again, while it doesn't necessarily require full scripting, still it requires that extra level of thought and really focusing on how I'm going to chain this example into this example into this example, and structure them in such a way that it does facilitate that flow of presenting these different facets to you. And it surprised me when I was making earlier videos how the order of the examples radically changed the feel of the video and the clarity of each example, because sometimes one example would introduce a concept partially that, having then been stated, is fleshed out in the next example, and by putting those in that order, it leads appropriately, and you can understand that final example all the clearer. Or contrarily, if I have it in a different order, sometimes it feels like the variation between 2 examples is too it's too subtle. There isn't a distinct enough reason for these to both be of benefit to you if I have them in the in the wrong order. A specific one that I remember with that was the out of character moment video, which I was quite pleased the way that it came out by altering the position of the Magnum PI example, because where I originally had it, I just felt like it didn't represent the idea that this was a moment of the character, or radically stepping outside the bounds of what is normal for them, but it's still being a moment that, rather than taking you out of the story and being a willing suspension of disbelief breaking moment, instead it drew you in further, because you realize this is how far this character has been driven, this is how passionate they are about this, and so it is understandable that they can go to this extreme, that Magnum can go to this extreme, and that while out of character, it is still a beautiful moment. And where it originally was, it felt like I was framing it in almost a negative way, that this is so out of character that he would do this, and that wasn't the point I was driving at. But so, yeah, it's that thing where when I make these more vlog-style videos, the two that I just tried recording, I just noticed that I don't chain the examples in such a way that it has all those benefits that I just described to you. Instead, it's kind of more, 15 to 20 minutes of me telling you about a trope that I really like, and some examples from some of my favorite shows. And again, let's pull the veil back. At its core, that's what all these videos are, is me saying, these are shows that I love, a trope that just happens to have been used in this. And so on one hand, that's very honest, making the video that way. I don't know whether it has that benefit to you as a potential writer, or as someone who is interested in narrative and storytelling from the perspective of just wanting to have a deeper knowledge of film and television and books, so that you can gain that extra level of entertainment while you are absorbing whatever. No, that makes it sound like we're mutants. No. I made this video too long already, so I can't think what the word is. What's the word? It would be absorbing, amassing, consuming. We'll go with that. Consume the media. It still sounds like you're eating the book with a knife and fork, but whatever. At least it's closer than absorbing. You're not the absorbing man. You're not getting a little bit of power from this book and that book. But yeah, so that's just something that I might have to decide. Is it okay sometimes if a video is that way? Can I be all right with this video being just, here's a guy who's passionate about this trope. Here's some wonderful examples of it. Thank you very much for watching, that type of thing. And I know there isn't anything wrong with that. I just don't know, am I not pushing myself enough there? Am I not striving for a high enough level of quality to make it worth your time? Because there are so many people making wonderful content on the internet that I just want to, have something that's worth your time. And so that's what I need to decide with that, because I want to find the right way. And the more I know, this is not a concise video. That's the point of it. And I don't intend the videos to be this unconcise in the future, but find ways where I can, that right now I'm butting my head up against the things that I can't do with the videos. I keep thinking, I really want to make an opening narration for this, so it would be so cool. I know exactly what clips I could use, but it's just physically draining to think about trying to do it, which is not a good which is not a good sign for how things are going health-wise and family-wise at the moment. But it's just too much to try to think about doing that. Or I think, I could use so many great clips for this video. There's so many funny moments. There's a perfect Marx Brothers moment right there that I could use. Or there's this wonderful clip from Stargate. They literally say the perfect thing. It would be wonderful to use in the video. But again, making the video in such a way where that clip would really be highlighted, recording it, editing it, all those things, I can do some of that, but other parts of it, my eyes are bigger than my stomach in some of these areas. I try to bite off more than I can chew. And so I want to find ways where I can push the quality of the video. I can make it better, but I can go in alternate avenues. I can leave these areas that are currently beyond my ability to handle, and rather than feeling like the videos are stagnating and that the quality is diminished too significantly, that I'm not living up to the promise of quality that I've tried to make to myself and to you, that I can go other ways, because I always want to feel that I'm improving the video in some way, whether it's just in my own confidence in my ability to tell a concise story to you, or my technical skill of editing it or recording it, or my technical skill in getting the color correction right, which I don't think I have yet, or things like that I'm getting better. Because I always want to have that. I always want to be able to look back at earlier videos and go, there were good things in it, but wow, look at some of those things. I've gotten better, because that should always be should always be a milestone, that you're able to see some improvement. And while you may happen upon beautiful ways of doing things and have earlier works that you love, there should always be that little I don't know, it doesn't quite look as good as something I could do now, because you should be improving. That's the whole point of being someone who is learning to do something. You are not a master. All your craft is not of equal skill. Your work is going in this fluctuation, but on the whole, aspects of it are getting better. That's what I hope to be able to do. So I tried to be very honest with this video. I know that I have a bad habit of, well, it's not a bad habit, but just it's a distinct habit of trying to frame every video, even the videos that are blatantly not about that, with some sort of a lesson that you can take, with some sort of a, maybe somehow this will help you, just because I just want to feel that somehow, even if I'm making a video about how much trouble I'm having with things, that in some way, by watching that, someone else who's having trouble could feel, oh, it's just it's not just me, or I could happen to say something that gives them a sliver of hope that that's just how I am. But not every video needs to have that. That some videos can just be discussions, can just be verbalizing a facet of what's going on, either with the channel or with my life. And so I hopefully have succeeded a little bit better this time in doing that. If for some reason you've watched the entire video, wow, that's very nice of you. But in parting, definitely I'm hopefully should have a new trope video up here in the next week or so. It just depends on what happens real life wise, and I will try to move forward with this blending of some themes of vlogs with some aspects of essay videos, and hopefully find a way that we can have a nice blending where I can forgive the increased number of errors that the videos will contain, but revel in the extra level of honesty or such, and see where that takes us. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you always for the wonderful support and for making this such a joyous experience, and I look forward to the next video. I keep almost saying Markiplier's. I'll see you next time. Ending. I've done multiple video takes today, and I keep doing that. So anyway, until next time. My hat's in the back, so I'll get it for the next video.